Yo. So, State of the Culture is on a second, maybe third season, I guess it's supposed to be. I guess you call it that. But they have a new addition. They got rid of that dead weight Scotty Beeman. No. But they got rid of Scotty Beeman, which I'm looking at the comment section. This is the second episode that Ebony's been on. I'm starting to think that Charlamagne could have had something to do with this hookup. I just think so. But anyways, Ebony's on the show. She's a new addition. On the comment section, a lot of people seem to love her or whatnot. I think she's a good fit, even though, like most black content, is overly liberal and biased in the echo chamber. That's standard. I do think Ebony is a good addition to the show because even when I saw her on the Breakfast Club, when they finally brought her up, if you listen to her speak versus Angela Rye, you hear a lot more information, not necessarily how you feel, but how things really work and how things really are. And I think that black spaces, even if you're going to be on some liberally fuckity fuck shit, you should have that. You should have people who are going to talk to you about the facts and cases and not, get your emotions involved and all logic and reason thrown out the window. I think Ebony brings that to the space. Again, I don't agree with her politically at all, but I think she has a lot of range, being that she comes from Fox News. She is a former attorney, a defense attorney, and she's been on different media outlets. So she has, she's been around. But apparently her and Remy Ma had a little spat over the conversation about snitching. They were talking about the Tekashi situation, and Ebony, being a person who has defended snitches and made these same deals that Tekashi is doing, but of course Ebony broke it down. She would not do it in public, and if her client did what Tekashi is doing, it would have been private, not public. Also, I think that Remy Ma, went into her feelings about the snitching thing and how to snitch and all this other stuff, and she's going to the extreme, saying, well, if you can't not think about doing that, then you shouldn't be a criminal. Like, that goes without saying, duh. Like, come on. But the problem isn't Tekashi, if we want to be honest. The problem is whatever this gang is, they let someone like him come in their space. They let him know a lot of information, and they got played. Like, Tekashi ain't the problem. It ain't him. He's not of that life or about that life. The people who were about that life and of that life let him in their space. It's no different than y'all motherfuckers that go on Vlad TV and snitching yourself. Y'all go to him. He don't go to y'all. Y'all open your mouth and y'all snitching yourselves. But yeah, like, no real organization would let somebody like that in. Even if they were funding them, they still gonna have them at bay, and they're not gonna know. There's gonna be plausible deniability. You're not gonna know everything. You're not gonna know these things. And that was brought up on the show. But I don't know what y'all think about this new show. A member, Eboni K Williams. She's definitely an upgrade from Scotty Beeman. No shade to her. I think she's doing things with Duce Pelusa and all that, and she's doing stuff with Rory from the Button podcast. I don't know. She's moved on to other things, but I think that more black panels, if you're gonna be on this liberal fuckity fuck shit, should have people who actually can come with facts, like an actual journalist on the panel who's not gonna just give their opinion, but gonna give you what the real information. Someone who has a legal background, and I would compare her to Scott. Ebony is different. What I would say from Sunny from The View, who has a journalistic background and she has a former prosecutor background, but her. When she talks about topics and things like that, she doesn't have that type of integrity where she won't throw in her emotions. Right? It doesn't mean just because you have that skill and that talent that you won't do that. I'm saying Ebony, for the most part, from what I see, she has that talent to where she'll say things in that space where she probably agrees with people, but they're not gonna like it because she's gonna tell them the truth and not what she feels. Sunny from The View, she be in her feelings. I talked about the one segment she just said. The current shooter used the loophole for the guns. I'm like, you're a prosecutor and you're a journalist, and you didn't give any information on what loophole he used, because he didn't use one. He bought his gun illegally. That's not a loophole. That's called breaking the law, dumbass. But she just said that on air on TV. Any other lawyer would be careful at their words on TV, and they know they gotta say allegedly and they gotta be honest. But she chose to let her emotions and feelings cloud her reporting and giving her opinion, and instead of saying, okay, this is exactly what he did and what was wrong, and broke it down, she didn't do that because she can't do that because she was lying. But shout out to Eboni K Williams. I think she's needed. I think more black spaces like that are needed. Now, ironically, that summit at the situation with Candace Owens and all that, apparently Eboni says, because AT&T sponsored it and Revolt ran it, which are their bosses, and she claims that Candace Owens wasn't supposed to be there, nor was Katrina Pearson. So the panel was set up originally to have a bunch of liberals on it in the first place, but Eboni claims that she couldn't be on the panel with Candace because she don't want to throw shade or talk enough about another black woman, and she didn't want to be in that space, right? The crazy thing about this is, even though you're on the left and you're on that side, Remy Ma, because Eboni broke down, if she was a lawyer and she has a client that's about to snitch, this is how you do it. Remy Ma said she felt the same way about Candace being on the panel at Revolt as about Eboni. So even though you're on the same team, you have the same liberal bullshit ideologies and worldviews, because you have a talent and your know-how, and you're dealing with people who break the law, and you have a way to get them out, which is your job, and you use that information to help your clients. Remy Ma said, "You're like Candace Owens to me." Think about that. So you having the same philosophy and same ideas on issues and believing in the same stuff, that's not enough. The fact that you have a talent and a skill set that can work for you, that's your job, right? She got more mad at Eboni for telling her clients how to snitch than she's mad at the people who were engaging in criminal activity. Kidnapping, robbing, murdering, shooting people. Like, we want to defend their honor, but God forbid the lawyer who wants to defend their client, whatever. I don't know. That was just weird to me. That, even when like the Democrats are left to eat their own a lot, but even when you are on their team, when you come with some logic and reason and not your feelings and emotion, they'll dismiss you too. And Eboni pushed back a little bit, saying, "Yo, you can't call me Candace Owens, and I'm gonna tell you why." And she did do justice in that, but that just was weird. Remy Ma was in her feelings over the snitching situation. Eboni, and they kind of had to switch gears and go to a different topic because, Remy got all in her feelings, and that's like the first time I really seen her do that. Like, she never did that to Scotty Beam when they didn't agree. So that's weird. But maybe because Remy went to jail for 8 years for shooting her own friend. It is what it is. That's my thoughts. What y'all think about Eboni on this panel, though? And what y'all think about the idea of having more people who don't just have the entertainers and the people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about, but actually have somebody with some legal experience in there too, so they can throw in like, "Nah, you're wrong. This is what really happens. This is how it really works out." That way you won't have black folks sharing a meme of the woman who went to jail for 5 years and comparing it to the white woman when they know that the black woman was also a heroin dealer and she also got caught trying to sell a prostitute to an undercover cop, right? She would be there as a legal person to say, "Well, I did the research, this is the information," and you can't compare the two cases. But, that video I did that video and it has thumbs down, so apparently people feel some type of way about the facts. I'm out.
Just go work in a fucking library, or I don't fucking take bottles back to the store. I don't know what the fuck you do. Something.
That's valid advice.
Okay. Yes,
I'm gonna let you.
Please.
I can't let the Candace Owens comment be out there though, because what I am doing, I feel very morally convicted around Remy, and you might disagree with it, and that's totally your right, But I feel it is very important to give people who find themselves by their own choices in these situations where they do have to make these choices about cooperating or not cooperating, going to trial, pleading guilty, what have you. That's why I went to law school. So I can best empower these people. Most of them look like us on this couch to make the decision that's best for them.
And most of the people that you're advising them on how to snitch on look like us too.
Yeah.
You see how you said you made a promise to yourself that you wouldn't sit there and bring down another woman, X, Y, Z. Like, I feel like when people go ahead and they snitching, Tekashi's not snitching on blue collar crime. He's not snitching on the people that's gonna own his masters and everything else for the rest of his fucking life, whether he's in jail or dead or anything else, and his daughter's not gonna get it. He's not snitching on them. He's snitching on the people that look like us, that come from where we come from, so that he can get out, and so that they can go to jail. And that's just that. And I can never sit there and condone that, like, that period. Like, okay, yeah, what makes his life and his freedom and his family more important than Shadi or any of the other people that he's telling on.
Everybody relax. That's kind of the gray area that I'm getting from the debate that y'all are having now, Rem. I stand with you in your point of Shadi, Mel Murder, all these niggas, these are black brothers that look like us. I get that. So you're